Welcome to the season finale at Malaga. We have had one heck of a challenge this season. No trophies are going to be won, but we are building for success and building for the future here at Malaga. We brought some players in January that really turned our season around. We were destined for, at the very best, a relegation fight, if not Segunda Liga football next season. But thanks to a point against Real Sociedad, a win against Vallecano, a win against Levante and Osasuna and Mallorca, 3 straight dubs, all only by a single goal, but back-to-back clean sheets as well in the latter two. We have rescued ourselves to outside of the bottom 3. We are, with 4 games remaining to be had today and 12 points available, we are 7 points clear of the relegation zone. Our goal difference is still atrocious compared to everybody else other than Levante, but those results in the last 2 episodes with the new signings have saved Malaga from relegation, we hope. But today's 4 opponents are not easy, and it could still go all the way to the final day. We have mid-table Getafe, very much top half Valencia, and very much one of the best in the league, Atletico Madrid, before the final game of the season away from home against Almeria. So I'm very much only expecting to, at best, pick up 1 point against Getafe and lose to Valencia and Atleti. So we may well come down to the final day in the league fight. And on the final day, we have current 19th placed 7 points behind us, Almeria. So we yet end up getting relegated. It's going to be quite nail-biting as we end the season. But next year, we will be looking to improve the team significantly. And we have players we're going to look to sell to raise funds to do that. But in between now and then, tomorrow, we begin the Euros. So I switched to the trophy room to remind you that we have already won the World Cup in this save. And tomorrow we begin Euro 2026 with England to try and get the international double with them. Ordinarily, we've been moving from nation to nation in between tournaments, but because we won the World Cup with England, we were then looking to replicate that success in the Euros and do the back-to-back, if we could, with my home nation, after, of course, failing in the last Euros with Belgium. So, that's to come. No Spanish trophies this year, but next year, we very much will be going for the Copa del Rey, and who knows what could happen in the league. FIFA does have a tendency to completely switch from season to season over the course of a save like this. Whether we can challenge for the title, I don't know, but we will certainly be challenging at the top half of the table, we pray. I made a mistake, it's not Euro 2026, it's Euro 2028, of course, because it was World Cup 26 that we won with England in North America, as it were. Right, back to the regular screen. And, well, actually, I'm just going to jump straight to the game against Getafe, which we're on the day of. At home, against Getafe, they have 50 points to our 33. They're very much above us in the table, very much better than us. But can we sneak a point? Getafe are quite good. 5 at the back for them. Mamadishvili in goal at 84 rated. Nico Williams at right back with Gaston Alvarez, Kusunu, Lovato and Lucas Barrera, a regen at left wing back. Ruben Neves at 86 in the midfield alongside Arne Meyer and an 85 rated Mikel Merino. And then 84 Moise Digne and Marko Lezecic up top at striker as well, also 84. Now I seem to remember having a memory that we drew with Getafe last time because Mamadishvili made a mistake and we were able to nod home a late equaliser in a 1-1 draw. I might be wrong, I might be misremembering, but I think that's what's happened previously. And fingers crossed we can get a result again, although it is not going to be easy, evidently, against such a quality side. And then it only gets more and more progressively difficult as the day goes on with Valencia and then Atleti. But ending with Almeria might be our saving grace. Kevin with the ball out wide here to Pantea, who stands it up. Roberto brings it down. No, he doesn't. He tried to and failed in doing so. We could have had a volleyed effort there to maybe go 1-0 up early doors. Now, defending against their front line is going to be particularly tough. And already, they're making a mockery of my defenders. But thankfully, their passing's not great. But they've won it back again. And here's Moise Digne in the box. And he's lost the ball again, as we nearly did. But now that'll be, their throw. Okay. Could have sworn that came off their guy, but never mind. Still, we're under pressure then in the opening 10 minutes from this Getafe team. And Arne Meyer has his shot tipped over by the declining Nick Pope. Only 80 rated, not 81 now. Mr. Pope in goal, but we were praising him yesterday because he made save after save after save to keep us in games. And this one goes wide and he doesn't have to get involved. Here's Barrera, forward from left wing back. 83 rated as a regen, so he's not bad. I say regen just by default. It might actually not be a regen. It might just be a genuine youth academy product that isn't a regen of a real life player. We did see that in a previous episode. There was an 84 rated Cam, Spanish, that scored a goal against us actually, that we thought was a regen of someone, ended up wasn't, and was just a youth academy product. Can we win that header? No. I haven't won it back either. Now, of course, the next save after this one will be a youth academy series. But the current plan, of course, is to try and finish this GloryHunter first. Hopefully, if we can keep this clean sheet here against Getafe, we'll get ourselves one step closer to surviving relegation and keeping this GloryHunter alive. Making the run there is Pantea. He's onside here from fullback. Not got anyone to aim for, though. Gomez is arriving. Oh! And on point, on time, arrives the man in the middle to tuck it home. It's Pellistri. He's stepped up to the plate recently. Oscar Pellistri has scored a number of very important goals. The 2 against Osasuna and the 1 against Mallorca yesterday. And now he's arrived right place, right time in the box to somehow squeeze that through an impossible gap to find the back of the net. Oh, through the defender's legs, past one defender, past the goalkeeper as well. We lead by a 1-0 at home against Getafe. It could be a vital 3 points should we get it. Oscar Pellistri has stepped up to the plate since joining and improving in his match rating. When he first joined, he wasn't doing the business, similar to Shola Shoretire, who we are planning on selling in the summer. But Pellistri has improved as the season has gone on. 6 goals in 16 games now for him, and they might be the 6 goals that keep us in the division. Oh, Barrera just gets away from me there. Can't step in. Ruben Neves does well. That's a nice floated ball. And it's going to reach him, is it? No. Pantea does enough. Knocked back and then cleared away. Gomez not quite tall enough to win that, and everybody's still on the floor, and Kasunu kicks it against them. That's a nice through ball, but Mbete read it. Mbete's been rock solid at the back. We haven't necessarily stopped conceding a load of goals in the second half of the season since Mbete signed, but the back-to-back clean sheets at the end of the last episode certainly showed signs of our defensive performances turning round. And so far, he says, tempting fate, we have a clean sheet here as well, and could get a win thanks to Facundo Pellistri's opening goal. I say Facundo, not Oscar, of course. Well, at the time, I said Oscar Pellistri because we've just been talking about McLaren and Formula 1 on stream. A solid defensive performance so far in this game. Less than half an hour to go now. It would be an unexpected but oh so vital set of 3 points here. We would be at most... Oh, Nick Pope with a double save. We'd be at most 7 points. Sorry, at least 7 points clear of the relegation zone with only 9 points available, meaning that even if we lost to Valencia and Atleti, we would still be outside of the relegation zone come the final day, albeit it would then come down to that game against Almeria. The maths of it are going to be awkward depending on what happens in other people's games, and of course what happens in the remainder of our game here, but Kevin could seal it. Aye, aye, aye. 5-star weak foot, never been. Mendes into Estaquillo and Chavez. A second would absolutely finish the game and ensure that we get 3 points, and they'd be so big in the relegation fight. And we will get the 3 points in the relegation fight. Pellistri doesn't get the goal, but certainly he is getting the inadvertent assist, the defender, with a miscommunication with his goalkeeper, and off his midriff into the bottom corner. We will win against Getafe. Onilon Kusunu scores the own goal to potentially save Malaga from the drop. Oh, lovely. Interception by Mendes as well. This team's starting to perform now. I'll think that Kevin, he had a terrible effort earlier. He scored this one! Oh, the crowd goes wild. The camera shakes as the fans bounce around the stand. Malaga 3, Getafe 0. 4 straight wins, 3 straight clean sheets for this Malaga side. Worst defensive record in the league. Now has kept 3 clean sheets in a row to save their season. Talk about turning up when it was needed. Final whistle goes. Malaga 3, Getafe 0. It's an unbelievable result. We did not expect to do that. We were thrilled with the 1-0 scoreline, but to come away with all 3 goals is remarkable, really. We were lucky with the second, but the third was still well put together. Osasuna beat Mallorca. I'm not sure what that does at the bottom end of the table. Osasuna were around us, but slightly further ahead, and indeed they are. And we are 10 points clear of Tenerife, although they and Almeria do still have matchday 34 to play. So as we advance towards the next game, we can now check the standings, and they both lost. Tenerife and Almeria both lost. With 3 games to go, we're 10 points clear. There are 9 points available. We're safe already. We've actually done it. With that win against Getafe, we have saved Malaga's season. Unbelievable. What a turnaround in this second half of the season. We were resigned to defeat, resigned to relegation just 4 months ago. And now we're safe and with 3 games to spare. What a turnaround in form. With 6 points of Mallorca in 12th. Now we're looking up the table rather than down. We won't finish any lower than 16th, I'm sure. I don't see Vallecano catching us either. Certainly Cadiz could. But with Valencia next, and then Atletico Madrid after that, and Almeria on the final day, we know that we don't need to get any more points. We can afford to lose all 3 and still stay up. Unbelievable, Jeff. Outrageous. Well, let's go and play Valencia and see if we can't test ourselves now against one of the better sides in the division and see just how far this side has come. We've beaten Getafe and Levante, Osasuna and Mallorca over the last 4 games. But Valencia is a different challenge altogether. This might be now the opportunity to see how good a season we might have next year with this team. We'll play Valencia, who, to be fair, are only a point better off than Getafe were. So Getafe in 10th, Valencia in 9th, and they not far away, actually, to be fair, from a European spot with Athletic Club de Bilbao. They're just 5 points above Valencia, so they've certainly got something to play for. We now have nothing to play for but pride and as strong a finish as possible and as much prize money as possible. We'll go to the press conference and boost our morale as best we can with our positive form and some positive responses. And now, somehow, we've rescued it and we crack on with a season finale. And then tomorrow, Euro 2028. This Valencia side, very, very good indeed. Luis Maximiano in goal. Wellington Dano, Manuel Akanji, Jordan Tezzi and Jesus Vasquez as their backline. Daniel James on the right, actually. Then Donny van der Beek, Jacob Ramsey, an 87 Emil Smith-Rowe and an 84 Carlos Alcaraz in the midfield with an 86 Amin Gouiri up top. Certainly a step on from the team we just played with Getafe. And this is kind of going to give us an idea of if this team with its current setup can compete with the mid-table better teams in this division for next year. We know in the summer we're going to improve in personnel and we hope to be much better next year. Basically carry this second half of the season form into a full season next year, and we may well be challenging for some form of European football towards the end of next season. What that level of European football might be remains to be seen, but we have to prove to ourselves now that it's not been a fluke and we can compete with these bigger teams. We've beaten the smaller ones now, the Osasunas, the Mallorcas, the Cadizes, the Vallecanos. Now we need to go and beat the Valencias. Can we do that? I don't think we're yet at the stage of being able to beat, or at least regularly compete, with the likes of Atleti, Real and Barcelona. but we definitely feel like we're in the form at the moment, at least, to compete with sides of Valencia's current ability level. Pantea forward to Warren Bondo. His dribbling in the middle is very, very good. Even if the rest of his stats aren't great, his dribbling certainly makes an impact, and he's good in possession, which is half the battle sometimes when playing FIFA, as opposed to thinking of it from a football perspective. Pantea is going to try and close down Dan James here, but as you know, the Welshman is bloody quick, but we've closed him down. He's actually gone down and stayed down hurt there, Daniel James, and we're not going to have to worry about his pace anymore. Unfortunately for them, they're going to have to take him off. So they're a man lighter from their starting lineup, although Racic, who's come on in his place, is no slouch in terms of a replacement, or perhaps not best suited to the position he's come on in. But still, they're going to be really difficult to play against here. Emil Smith-Rowe drifting centrally to get involved in the play. Something's happening there, apologies, epilepsy warning. And they've taken the free kick, it's still going. Please stop, thank you. Apologies about that, entirely out of my control, I'm afraid. Here at the Mestalla, someone's having a little bit of an attack with a flag. I guess that's kind of similar to when you see fans, wrongly, obviously, try and use a laser pen to put goalkeepers off during penalties. It's like that, but from a corner. Oh, I thought Bondo was going to get to that. He was the right side of the man and everything. That's a lovely ball. Guiri looking to latch onto the end of it, which he does so very well indeed. But Andres Caro, defending like a god again. His clearance wasn't the best. Put as much power on that as I possibly could. But Andres Caro is there again. Still, Valencia come forward. And they will now score. Goalkeeper slightly unsighted, perhaps, which is why there was a bit of a dodgy animation, I'm not sure. But buried at the near post by the Valencia man. Just a brilliant tackle there. And yeah, that's odd from Nick Pope, to say the least. We will be looking to improve in goal next year. Pope has done his job this season, but I think we're going to look to sell him in the summer and sign someone that is considerably better, if possible. And that will really take our defensive line onto the next level. It appears, at least at this moment in time, that we are not yet able to compete with sides of the level of Valencia. But Guiri's missed the target there, and it's just one. And whilst it is only one, we stand a chance. Mendes forward to Facundo Pellistri. Entice the defender in. Inadvertently play a 1-2 off him. Roberto spun brilliantly, and Roberto's goals this season have been vital in our survival fight, and we are not behind for long. We seemingly can battle and fight with those intermediary teams in the league. Those challenging for a top half finish and maybe pushing the bottom of those European spots. Well, we're level against Valencia and we weren't behind for more than 8 minutes. Positive signs in this second half of the season. This Malaga side started woefully, and that awful run of 10 straight defeats meant that we were in a real pickle as we approached the January window. But the right signings and our better players really coming up with performances in the second half of the season has meant that we nearly went in at half-time 2-1 up against Valencia there. Once Soratiro's won that back, not only are we carrying on, if I can find Gomez in the middle, we might be going in front. Perhaps delayed a little bit too long with the pass and the defenders got back. I'll take Caro off now just to ensure that he can finish the season, and I'm going to bring Jimenez on. The other centre-back we have, Wisdom Amy, we did not enjoy at all, and he probably will be moved on at the first possible opportunity in the summer. Unfortunately, that centre-back signing didn't work. And Bete's come in and shown up Wisdom Amy for all of the flaws that he's had in this season here at Malaga. They're going to get a foul for that, apparently, and a free kick. I am not sure about that. Thank you very much. Andres Caro for Javier Jimenez, and Jesus Vasquez work this with Amin Guiri, and Valencia looking to take the lead again. Donny van der Beek, and Pope makes the save from Smith-Rowe to ensure that Valencia stay level for now here at the Mestalla. Mightily impressive stadium in real life, the Mestalla. I'd love to go. A few friends did go with Chelsea a few years ago. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it on that occasion. Soratiere holding the ball up brilliantly. And I think Albert Gomez is onside here and on his left foot. And Akanji's running out of stamina. So Albert Gomez may well have just won the game for Malaga here. We lead by 2-1 in the 69th minute. We've completely turned it around. Well, next season is looking very exciting now, isn't it? Sure, a T-rate. Delivery to come in, perhaps. That's Donny van der Beek and Wellington Dano. We didn't have to wait long for our equaliser, and Valencia are pushing for theirs. Alcaraz now subbed off here. Coming on in his place, Josip Brekalo, who's 85 rated and particularly good. He has his first touch there with a header that was on target and needed saving. Save it he did, Nick Pope. He might be declining in rating, but he has made a difference to our defensive line, certainly. Remind me never to loan or use that Canadian Thompson ever again. He was absolutely woeful in goal, wasn't he? Estequio spun brilliantly there, looking for Roberto. Need runners. Out wide here is Facundo Palistri. Shorty towards the back post. Vasquez does well. I was trying to cross that. He's done a slide tackle. 8 minutes to go. We're still winning at Mestalla. I'll look for Gomez, actually. And then Shoretire through that gap. Brilliantly done. Shola, excellent footwork. The finish just doesn't quite come in time. Not to worry, though. With only seconds remaining in the half. Surely the referee blows his whistle now, and indeed he does. It's Malaga 2, Valencia 1. Next season, with improvements to this team, we could be challenging, potentially, for a European spot next year. This Malaga rebuild, finally, is picking up pace. We'll sim the final 2 games of the season now, as there's absolutely nothing to play for. And Atleti at home will be the penultimate game of the season. With that win, we're now, well, Tenerife and Almeria have both lost on match day 36 as well, so they can only get to 32 points. Now we're on 39, but 4 points behind Osasuna, still Celta right with us. We're not going to finish any higher, I don't think, than 14th or any lower than 15th, so there's not much to play for here at all. Atleti, not in the title fight. Speaking of that title fight, though, Valencia, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, there is only a point between them. Let's go and sim this game against Atleti and then do the same with the next one as well and see how this season looks in its final stage. It's building nicely, you know. We've built some good moves in this game so far, but nothing to show for it yet for either side. We've had 3 shots to their 1. We are playing better than Atletico Madrid and are absolutely in the hunt for this potential 3 points. Roberto's probably going to have to come off soon. Shoot! Good save by the keeper. You can see left-hand side, Roberto is tiring a lot more than anybody else in our 11 right now. Shoot again! I think actually a teammate got in the way of that one. Right, I'm going to take Roberto off early doors in this second half and bring on Murillo, the loanee. Hopefully, he can have an impact. I've not been massively impressed with Manu Murillo, actually, but he'd certainly filled the gap whilst we waited for Albert Gomez to come back from injury. But sadly for him, that loan spell isn't going to turn into a permanent one. And Bete, however, certainly I would like to look to turn into a permanent spell. Unfortunately for us, he won't be keeping a clean sheet on this occasion, though, because Yusufa Moukoko has given Atleti a 1-0 lead. I mean, a 1-0 defeat to Atleti would be particularly decent for us. To be as competitive in this game as we have been, to hold them to just a very narrow margin of victory. I think it's not necessarily a win for us, but it's certainly another sign of how far this side have progressed. They brought João Felix off the bench, Christ alive. And they're not going to make it too, because Nick Pope's having a hell of a performance here today. They beat us, what, 4-2? Was it last time we played Atleti? No, 4-1 last time we played Atletico Madrid. So for it only to be 1-0 this time, I think, again, shows how far this side has progressed and how well we're doing. Real Madrid draw there 2-2 with Getafe, I glanced. So as we head to the final day, at the bottom end of the table, Tenerife on 26 could survive if they win. Vallecano and Almeria in 18th and 17th. One of them only needs a point if the other loses. But they could really do with avoiding defeat in any game. To be fair, on head-to-head, Almeria are above them. As you see, their goal difference is actually in Vallecano's favour. Now, on the final day, we obviously have Almeria in 17th. And Vallecano, glancing to the right-hand side, have Barcelona at home. However, that Barcelona side might have just won the league and have nothing to play for. So there might be a chance of them to actually pull that out the bag and save themselves. We'll head now to that game against Almeria. Because of the nature of when I'm recording this and the timing of trying to get this up before I run out of time for the 3 o'clock slot, as I'm recording this a little bit later than usual, we will sim this one against Almeria as well. Youth player unsettled, Aitor Navas. Okay, Aitor Navas needs to be called up, does he? Aitor Navas, which one are you? 66 rated centre-back. Look at Jaramillo. 68 rated now. And certainly improving and only going to get better still. We'll call a number of these youth players up, actually, and look to send them out on loan next year. Jaramillo can come up as well. Cabrera will do the same also. And we'll look to send those three out on loan next year. And hopefully they can get fantastic loan spells and improve drastically between now and the end of next season, where they may even be in the first team picture. Right, let's sim this one against Almeria then. In fact, whilst I'm mid-spiel, I might just quick sim it. A 3-2 defeat, and that's why we don't quick sim games anymore. We use the interactive sim. Almeria get the win against us, and that will probably have saved them from relegation. Unless Vallecano... No, yeah, it will have done, because their head-to-head against Vallecano was better, wasn't it? So Almeria will stay 17th. Vallecano lost, unfortunately, for them against Barcelona anyway. So Barca win the league by 3 points from Real Madrid. Atleti a distant third. Villarreal 4th. Sociedad 5th. And Athletic Club de Bilbao 6th. Relegated will be Vallecano, Levante and Tenerife. Now, I'm not sure when the Champions League final is, but we will advance considerably forward now. And we'll have a full season roundup. In England's group in Euro 2028, Austria, Sweden and the Netherlands. We will play those tomorrow in Euro 2028 as that begins in the intermediary period between Season 6 and Season 7. Do join me then for it. Happy enough with my England squad already, which is why I just worked my way through that squad selection earlier on. There's nobody dropped out that we want to bring back into the fold. So, a full season roundup then. We just showed you what happened in... Why am I looking at the calendar? Come on, Ches. We showed you what happened in La Liga, so let's show you what happened elsewhere in the other competitions that we were involved in this year, and Europe as well. In the Copa del Rey, the victor was Real Madrid in an El Clasico against Barcelona. Pre-season tournament. Salernitana topped that as we got 2 draws in the defeat. European Super Cup was won by Manchester City. The Champions League this year was won by Paris Saint-Germain, and they will be playing Barcelona, who do the double Europa League and La Liga title. Barca only in the Europa League this season, though, and Stade Rennais will be playing Europa League football after winning the Europa Conference League this year. Of course, in the Euros, our group is England, Netherlands, Austria, Sweden. Then there's France, Germany, Hungary, Portugal, a group of death. Poland, Belgium, Iceland, Romania, and Spain, Northern Ireland, Denmark, and Italy. We aim to win the Euros as we won the World Cup. Contracts expiring, we don't care about that one. And players leaving. Shorty is out for 4 weeks. That's fine, we're going to sell him. £64.3 million added to the bank balance. And that will hopefully give us a considerably decent transfer budget next year. Looking to sell Shoretire, who's valued in the 30s as well. So in the Premier League, it was Tottenham from Manchester City, Arsenal and Manchester United. Liverpool in 5th, West Ham 6th, Chelsea only 7th, relegated Sheffield United, Middlesbrough and Norwich on this particular occasion. In the Championship, coming back up to the Premier League are Forest and Villa. Brentford, West Brom, Watford and Bournemouth will battle it out in the playoffs. Relegated Preston, Peterborough and Wigan Athletic. And in League 1, Ipswich and MK Dons are back up. Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham and Cheltenham Town in the playoffs. Cambridge survive in 14th rather comfortably. Fleetwood, Port Vale, Doncaster and Bradford City are relegated down to League 2. And going up the other way, Bristol Rovers, Crawley and Burton automatically. And one of Colchester, Walsall, Forest Green and Shrewsbury via the playoffs. If the National League were on the game, which it isn't and I don't think ever will be, Stevenage and Grimsby go down. In League it's Lyon from Monaco and Marseille. Paris Saint-Germain 6th. Now we did say, didn't we, before we came to Malaga and as we played Paris Saint-Germain with Manchester City in our run to the Champions League, that PSG team were ripe for a rebuild and needed rebuilding. More evidence of it there. 6th place only for Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1 this season. That's a surprise. Or actually, it's not a surprise because we saw how bad their team is. Very tight title fight between Bayern Munich and Leipzig. Only a goal in it. Plus 29 goal difference to plus 28 goal difference. Leipzig will feel hard done by there. Hoffenheim in third, Leverkusen fourth, Dortmund only 8th. My former club really struggling. In Serie A, how did my former club do there? They won the league, Juventus by 6 points from AC Milan. Napoli and Torino in 4th. Inter only 6th, Roma only 7th. We do need to go back to Italy in this save, of course, to try and win the Coppa Italia. And in the Segunda Liga, we'll have a quick look at that, see who's coming up to us. In the SPL, it was Rangers on plus 3 goal difference this time. And in the Smart Bank, coming up will be Las Palmas and Granada, and one of Girona, Valladolid, Sporting and Alaves. They will be coming up to La Liga next season to join us in the Spanish top flight. With regards to the top goal scorers, okay, we don't know about the European Championships right now, so let's have a look at La Liga. And in La Liga, when we eventually get there, Julian Alvarez for Barcelona with just 16. It's a low tally for a top goal scorer chart, isn't it? A very low tally. Roberto with 8, and actually Albert Gomez there with 8 as well. Our joint top goal scorers this season. Manu Murillo had 7, but they weren't all for us, I don't think. And that's it for us on that front. Now that's the assists, Ches. So well done. Top goal scorer was 23 with Lautaro Martinez at Real Madrid, and Vinicius there joint with him on 23 as well. Roberto had 18 goals. I did think Roberto's goal tally was a little bit low. 18 goals and 8 assists for Roberto this season, so certainly Manu Murillo's assists will have been for us since he joined us. Apologies for the mix-up. Anyone else in there for us? No. But nice to see Albert Gomez get 8 assists as well. He's certainly doing a job, but I think he might be replaced in the starting 11 next season. When it comes to clean sheets, I don't think we were anywhere near. So top goal scorers, Roberto with 18. Gomez did have 8 goals actually, as it happens, as well as 8 assists. Pulisic with 6. Murillo with 2 goals for us. Kevin with 2 as well. So really, we were very, very, very heavily reliant on Roberto. But next season, we hope to get goals from throughout the squad. Pulisic, those 6 goals were so important as well, weren't they? Very, very influential, and in terms of goals that got you points, they were the ones that got us the most important points. Assist-wise, Gomez and Roberto. Murillo got 7 assists. Again, I'm not sure how many of those were for us. No, they must be all for us because it came from Stade Rennais. So in La Liga, they are all him. 2 goals and 7 assists. Kevin got 5 assists. He'll be replaced in the starting lineup as he previously was by Shola Shoretire, but he's now going to get sold because he's really not very good. I can add him to the transfer list next summer. As we start the new season, valued at 36, release clause of 88, all of which could go very nicely into improving the squad. So development-wise this season, let's have a look. Nick Pope down 1, but we will look to move him on probably and have Baran come back and be our backup goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he only went up 1 out on loan at Augsburg, which is a shame. Yanez is leaving us and Thompson is shite. Javi Jimenez is leaving, but we still have Olmo as a backup left back. I'm very happy actually with fullbacks that we have currently at the club. Andres Caro is very, very good, and Bete has been rock solid. Delighted with that purchase, one of the best ones we've made. Amy, however, awful, really, really bad. So we will be looking to move him on again, I think. Maybe I loan him rather than sell him. He's not valued that highly, so we might look to loan him, and then maybe if he goes out on loan, grows to like 79, then perhaps he might be better later in the save. Javier Jimenez is going to be our continual backup. Sykes I might look to sell, to be fair, because he's just not going to improve too much, unfortunately. But 1.8 million isn't really going to make much difference, is it really? Navas, hopefully, has potential to be special, supposedly, so we'll add him to the loan list. And if he can grow spectacularly well next year, then he definitely will replace Jimenez and Sykes in the squad next year. Joe Mendes, as his rating went up, as did his performance level. So pleased enough with him at right back, and equally with Pantea at left back. He's been particularly impressive. Estiquio's been brilliant. Antoine Benede came in and did a job, but I think he's probably going to get moved on next year. Kevin will stay as a backup because he's only 27 and he's not bad up to this season. No growth for Nieto. A little bit of growth, though, for Brahim Ahmed up to 65, but they'll both go out on loan again next year. Ramon Enriquez is going to Sassuolo, so we are going to need to improve at centre mid. but I think we were going to do that anyway. Chavez up 1 to 79, Warren Bondo up to 78. We'll look to sign a new starting centre mid next year, and Bondo and Chavez will battle it out for that rotation spot. Cabrera will go on loan. Jaramillo will go on loan. He too has potential to be special. Shoretiro will add to the transfer list. Arias is probably going to retire at the end of the season. Arias is out on loan, hasn't grown, absolutely awful. We'll sell him next year or even just loan him out. He's not. I'll just bloody release him, mightn't I? Jesus. Pellistri, spectacular. Facundo Pellistri's been absolutely brilliant for us since we brought him in. Very pleased with him indeed. Harry Reese up 10, although that does include a position change. Out on loan at Karagümrük, and hopefully he will continue to grow. Murillo, not overly impressed with him, so I don't think I'll look to get him back in. Thibaut Willems, disappointed that he hasn't grown out on loan at Feyenoord. Really disappointed that he hasn't grown. Not sure what to do with him. When it comes to striker, Albert Gomez is current starter ahead of Roberto. But what my plan is, because Roberto obviously is currently in that centre-forward position, my plan is to move Roberto to striker, sign a new higher-rated cam, and then Gomez will drop to the bench and be my backup striker. That's the current plan. So we are going to look to improve in goal. We're going to look to improve out wide. We're going to look to improve centrally, both deeper and further forward. They are the current plans for the summer. But between now and then, there's European Championships that needs to get played and hopefully won for the GloryHunter. So do join me for the group stage of Euro 2028 tomorrow with England against Austria, Sweden, and then the Netherlands. We've won the World Cup with the Three Lions. Can we do it on a European level? Join me tomorrow and we will find out. Thank you very much for watching this season. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content. Season 7 around the corner. Big transfer window for us and high hopes for the next year at Malaga. Very high hopes indeed. I'll see you next time.